What if the path to a healthier dynamic of personal development actually requires you to be gentle with yourself? A lot of the internet, from what I've seen, has shown that the way that you get stronger, the way that you develop yourself, the way that you build yourself requires you to get really tough and to be really hard on yourself. But in my opinion, this is from people who were raised by people that are exceedingly unhealthy. And they're teaching you that you need to be tough, you need to be strong, you need to be hard on yourself, you need to be really fucking rough. But it's fascinating because when you do that, essentially you shut yourself down, you close yourself off. If you were raised by somebody that was really fucking hard on you, that like beat the fucking shit out of you, unless your idea of retaliation was to get back at them and with that do whatever you needed to do to be really fucking successful, to feel like you were getting back at them. Essentially, maybe you otherwise just shut down. You shut yourself off from everything and everyone. You got really scared because you had the shit kicked out of you by somebody that was really fucking hard on you, somebody that essentially lacked healthy boundaries, was unindividuated, was undifferentiated. They didn't approach you in a healthy way of building healthy self-esteem in you. No, they beat the fucking shit out of you. They taught you this idea of, I guess you could say, tough love. Oh, I'm doing this for you because I care about you and right. Now, it's not really popular to be gentle with yourself, in my opinion. I'm not claiming fact or truth here, but from what I've seen, from what I've learned, from what I've consumed on the internet, everything that I've seen on the internet, and I don't click now because I see it for what it is. People are taught to be fucking hard on themselves. They're taught to be so strict and serious with themselves. But they're not taught about the absolute necessary things to develop in a healthy way. At least a lot of the content that I have seen on social media does not teach people how to develop into healthy, boundaried, individuated, and differentiated adults. And the reason that I believe that that is because one, most people don't know how to teach that. At least a lot of people, if it's not most people, at least a lot of people don't know how to teach that. The internet is very much designed for instant gratification. There's a fuck ton of content that gets you to believe that your life is going to change after one fucking video, and it's bullshit. Personal development is a long fucking journey. There is a lot of fucking material, a lot of fucking information that all of these fucking coaches and gurus are not telling you about. Why? Because they don't know. It's sad. It really is. But the very first thing that I want to approach in this video is the choice of being gentle with yourself on your journey of personal development, because consider it this way. What is required for anything to open up in life? Well, I would argue that it is curiosity. Whenever someone is raised in an unhealthy childhood, in survival with fight, flight, freeze, fawn, usually with, that in and of itself is abusive. Boundary violations are abusive. Being in a relationship with anyone that is not differentiated and individuated, it's usually an abusive dynamic. That's what that is. The second that somebody's boundaries are violated, abuse has taken place. That's the way it works. So if you were raised in an unhealthy childhood, the likelihood that you had a fuck ton of pressure, a fuck ton of expectations that you did not consent to or agree to, you were a child. What the fuck are you going to agree to or consent to as a child? Oh, your parents had so much fucking pressure and expectations of you? Did you fucking ask to be born? See it for what it is. There are incredible things that people can do on the path of personal development for themselves and for their relationships. I personally believe that the first step to everything is being gentle with yourself. And I know that there are probably many people out there that would call me out, say that I'm a bitch, I'm too lenient, I'm too light. Those are all boundary violations. So go back to the very beginning of all of this and understand that it all goes full circle. If you want to grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to develop in a healthy way, it's important to understand that healthy boundaries, individuation, and differentiation, from everything that I've learned, are required. A lot of people really don't understand this. They don't. A lot of people are like, oh, do you lack self-control? Take my class and this, that, and the other. And if you lack self-control, it's likely because you also lack healthy boundaries. But they don't teach you about that, do they? It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Being gentle with yourself is a very important first step on the journey of personal development, because it's essential to understand that if you were raised in survival in an unhealthy childhood, the likelihood that you were mind fucked with fear is very high. What does fear do? It shuts you off and closes you down. Essentially, then everyone else in your life that's saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you so fucking stagnated? And they try to push you and push you and push you and push you, lacking healthy boundaries and everything. You shut yourself off more and more and more and more and more. And then essentially you just learn this dynamic where you're just super fucking critical with yourself. You get unhealthier and unhealthier and unhealthier. And it just becomes a vicious cycle that really brings you back to the same place of no evolution, the same stagnation over and over again. But if instead, what if you were to choose to get curious with yourself, and with that, gentle? Hey, I'm not ready right now, but maybe if I am gentle with myself, maybe I'll open up more. Maybe I'll be feeling more ready then. You're not going to feel ready if you're closed off. Let's look at this, all right? I don't mean for this to sound extreme, but imagine that you were literally fucking tied up by fucking ropes and chains. You couldn't move. You couldn't move at all. Like, from head to toe, you were wrapped in fucking ropes and chains. Tightly. You could not move. Imagine that everyone else around you simultaneously was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Make a fucking decision. Move. Go. Walk. Run. Why are you so fucking stagnated? What the fuck is your fucking problem? We fucking raised you better than this. No, you didn't. They're being very hard on you because that's the way that they raised you, and they taught you to be very hard on yourself. Are you actually going to be able to move if you have all of these ropes and chains around you? Are you going to feel confident to be able to fucking run a fucking marathon? No, you're not. You can hardly move your legs in the fucking ropes and chains that they're in. Of course you're not going to feel confident. Imagine that that is the dynamic of somebody being hard on themselves. Just fucking do it. Don't fucking wait to be ready. Just fucking do it. Why aren't you already doing it? What the fuck is your fucking problem? I don't know, Karen. Maybe they're fucking tied up in ropes and chains and they have a fucking hard time moving because their ego state was fucking marred to infinity with all of these fucked up ideas and a bunch of fucked up shit, and they just learned to be really fucking hard on themselves. It's sad. It is my honest belief that being hard on yourself is not the healthy path forward. You can do that if you so choose to. You have free human agency. You can do whatever you want to. But I believe that if you choose to be hard on yourself, you will you will close yourself off far more than you would if you were gentle with yourself. Getting curious with yourself, taking your time. Your life is nobody else's life but your own. And maybe people in your life didn't teach you that. Maybe they didn't teach you your own self autonomy, whoever raised you. But it is really just delicious coffee. Yes, life is just delicious coffee. No, really, your life is your own. Colombian, by the way, Colombian coffee, in case anyone was curious. Um, if anyone else has taught you that you're living for them, that's a boundaryless dynamic. You are essentially a narcissistic extension of them. This is what so many people don't learn about life and about personal development, about the self, is that it's not about being hard on yourself. No, no, no. It's about being gentle with yourself. When the sun is gentle with the flower opens up. When the sun provides warmth, gentle warmth, the flower opens up. When instead the harsh fucking storms come along and rip the flower to pieces, I'll let you finish that one for yourself. Personal development is a very fucking long journey. And there are probably a lot of things that people don't understand about personal development. There are so many different things that coaches teach people that are more so just like treating symptoms and like working with symptoms. Like, oh, do you spend too much time on your phone? Learn how to stop spending so much time on your phone in this fucking masterclass. Yeah, why don't we also look at fucking emotional avoidance as well? Why don't we look at the reality that many people were not raised in a healthy childhood with healthy boundaries, individuation, and differentiation, and when it comes to emotional pain, they were instead taught to avoid it. Avoidance. You know, there's that too. But no, you just need to restrict your time away from your phone. There is a why to every behavior. If you don't understand the foundational why to every behavior, you're going to be missing out on a bunch of shit. That's the reality of it. And many people don't get to the root cause of the why. They're just like, stop spending so much time on your phone, cut these toxic habits out of your life. Why don't we understand why we're doing them? Why don't we take the time to actually dive in and get curious and understand why we're doing them? But the fascinating thing about that is that there are so many things that people don't want to face. Avoidance, it comes full circle, which is why we don't even approach it at all to begin with. The healthiest route, again, in my opinion, is being gentle with yourself on this path of personal development because it will open you up to yourself and to life. Yes, when you're gentle with yourself, it opens you up. It gets you curious about yourself and about your life. When you're hard on yourself, when you're really fucking rough with yourself and strict with yourself, like your boundaryless parents or whoever raised you taught you to be, you shut down. You close yourself off. And maybe the only reason that you're actually going after anything that you are going after is to fucking stick it to them. So it's not because you actually want to, it's because they fucking hurt you and you want to fucking get back at them. Look what I fucking can do. Yeah, you're just trying to prove something because your worth is tied to not feeling like a fucking piece of shit because they made you feel that way. So it's like, hey, mommy and daddy, look, I'm not a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, but did you enjoy the fucking journey? Or are you just trying to fucking get back at them because you didn't get a healthy development? There is a why as to every decision, everything that we do. There's a root. A lot of people are just trying to treat symptoms. But the moral of all of this is that when you are gentle with yourself, you open yourself up, you get curious. And then that's when personal development gets fun and interesting. There are so many layers to the personality. There's so much about all of this. And it's fun.